Hi, everyone. This is Psychic Cheryl Lynn, and welcome to my show. It's Spiritually Speaking with Cheryl Lynn. As most of you know, this is my teaching series. I go live to do my life's purpose to talk to all of you, to teach all of you, and whomever God brings unto me. I'm very blessed to be able to talk to all of you. Hi, Carmen. You're the first one. Hello. Today we're going to be talking about a few things. We're going to be actually using the book today as well. Originally, this live stream was just going to be other realities and the major vision I had about other realities. But soon, hi, Mel. Um, like right before I was going to go live, God said to me, do God blockers. Teach that today too. So apparently some of you out there need this lesson about why you're blocking God and why you're not getting the blessings that you think you should get. And even though we're going through the human ascension and all this stuff is going on, your blessings are still there. You're the one blocking your blessings, not what's happening in the world today. Hi, Veronica. Hi, Brenda. Hi, Love 888 Spirit. Hi, thank you all for joining me. I appreciate that you're joining me live. Now, today we will be talking about other realities, the major vision that I got, and God sending people unto me that can understand these things. This is, for me, not really for the general public. The general public really doesn't understand what I'm about to say. Hi, Monique. The general public really doesn't understand what I have to say about these other realities and the major vision I got on that. But I will be actually teaching out of my book today too, the second part. So those of you that have my book, get your book and go turn to page 41. We're going to be talking about God blockers. We're going to be going through that because God was very strong with me about teach this today too. Because I was just going to do the other realities, but apparently some people out there, you're having trouble manifesting your blessings, and this is a message for some of you out there. Okay. Monica says, yeah, you have the book, and Love the Spirit says, I bought one. So, Monica, get your book. Those of you who have your books, we're going to be doing page 41 in a little while. Those of you that do not have my book, right on the bottom here of the live stream, I have the copy and paste to the Amazon link. It'll take you right to the Amazon link, right to my book, and it's in stock. It's in stock, so get it because I will be teaching, from the book. And the past Spiritually Speakings with Cheryl Lynn, the past ones I've done several. I've been teaching out of this book from time to time. Okay? All right, so again, page 41, for those of you that have the book, will be, get there, and we'll be talking about God blockers in a minute. Okay. Again, thank you all for being here. Today, I want to speak to all of you about other realities, a major vision that I got that really blew my mind. And I wanted to pass this information along to you. I touched briefly on it in my the Spiritually Speaking with Cheryl Lynn Q&A, the first part Q&A. But I want to get into it a little bit deeper. And let me just say this. The major vision that I got is this. Me sitting here right now, first of all, you create your own reality. What you think and what you speak is what you create. You create everything that is around you. You're the creator. You create your environment, you create the people around you, you create the chair, you create everything. Your personal environment, your personal life. Okay, where you go, what you do, you are creating this. This is your creation. Now, we are right now in a collective creation. So I thank you all for including me. Let's see here. Hi, Goddess. Hi, Aaron. LB, hi. Okay, so like I was saying, people are joining me now, and I appreciate that. Anyway, what I was saying is you create your own reality. You are a true creator. So of course, the ego, the devil, the demons, want you to create negative. You create your negative environment. You are your creator. Now, those of you that are watching me, you want to up your game. You want to up your game into the spiritual. Those of you that got my book, we're going to be talking a little bit about ego and free will again, just briefly, because that's in God Blockers. But you're ready to take that next step. You're ready to take that. And most of you are now up into the spiritual. You've ascended, you're up into the spiritual. So as you get up into the spiritual, there's more and more responsibility about what you're creating, what you're putting out there. And, not creating fear and worry for yourself. You're creating your lack of abundance. You're creating that alcoholic husband. You're creating all these things. Now, remember this, people, this is a big lesson. Part of your life's purpose is to live the opposite life of what you were given. You must live the opposite life of what you were given. That's why most of us had a horrible, dysfunctional beginning. Whatever it was, you are to overcome it in this life and to co-create with God. God helps, of course. Create this reality for you. All right? So that's what you're striving to do right now. All right? Now, again, thank you for being, we are kind of like all in this collective reality right now, and you're listening to me, and of course, I greatly appreciate it. But again, you're creating your environment. You're creating every person, because everything's energy, people. That's all it is energy. You're shifting energies around. That's how great of a creator you are. So, of course, if you get into fear-based thinking, you get into worry, the demons know you're going to be creating negativity. You create it all, and you control it all. And I always say, you just imagine like now taking the dial and turning up your energy. Pretend there's a dial and you start turning it up. Don't be turning the energy down. The ego wants you to go like that. No, you've been enough. It's enough. Now it's time to start turning the dial up, and you control the dial. You control this. Now God provides for us help, protection, lessons, people. God's with us. But it's our responsibility and the reality that we're creating right now. And here's a mind blower. Maybe some of you can understand this. It was a mind blower for me until I actually saw it for myself in my present state where I am right now. So right now, I'm going to give you my example throughout all this. So right now, what I'm creating with all of you, I'm in Pennsylvania right now. My reality is right now. There's no Paris created. There is no Italy created. There's no New Jersey created. It's mine now, what I've created. There is no Paris. I'm creating my reality. All of you are creating your realities. So, for example, if you're in Chicago, you're right now in Chicago watching me, and there is no Europe. There's nothing. Now those of you that are living in Paris, you've created Paris. So let me give you an example. It sounds a little weird. What I'm saying is, really, when we say stay in the here and the now, stay in the here and the now, because that's what you're creating. That's all we have is the now. The past, like I said, you're going to live the opposite. You're going to do the opposite of what you were taught, right? And the future is yet to be. And as all of you know, we are going through this human, ascension. And basically, we have to stay in the now as things start working themselves out. But we are all coming together, make no mistake, in a big collective pool. We're all coming together. And there's a great time coming. It's just not coming yet. We are in the days of, destruction. And there's things in the Bible, I guess, about that. But there's also that golden age. The negativity's coming up. The light workers win. Make no mistake. And but anyway, getting back to my reality of this, what I just said. about you. That's how powerful of a creator all of you are. All right. So here's my reality. So when I learned this, I there's a street, Whitney Avenue, where I'm at. Like it's when I drive by, it's like it has trees. It has, it's a very familiar. When I'm driving down the road, very familiar trees and houses. It's from my childhood, so this is something that's very familiar to me. It's around the Whitney Avenue area, where I'm at. And I was like, when I'm driving down the road, I always notice the Whitney Avenue, the trees, and the houses and everything. And then after I had this realization, I'm driving down the road and I'm looking kind of like this way, and people, it was like a stencil outline and in fog. I could not see Whitney Avenue. I could not see it because I was not creating it, because I had this knowledge. And it's really weird. As I go down the street now, I don't see, it's a big fog, Whitney Avenue, for me. So, because I don't create it. I mean, it literally looked like a line drawing, and I didn't paint in what I needed to paint in. It was an uncompleted, artist easel, for a lack of a better term there. You create your own reality. Literally, it's a fog. Now, if I want to create it, I can look and create it and see it, but there's no reason to. I kind of like the fog because I know, what I'm saying about this other reality. That's how much of a creator you are. Okay? So know your power. Know your power. And do not blame God and do not blame others for what you're creating. That's why you have to love you. I love me. Get out of the ego. Get out of fear. Get out of worry. Raise up your vibrations. Okay? And of course, I cover that in the book. It helped you out there. All right? I don't know if some of you can understand that, but it's so important. Now, that being said, you're so much of a creator. Other realities I got was this. From the moment you're born, now me right here, Cheryl, you're seeing me right now. I'm just going to use me as an example. From the moment I was born, decisions and actions were made on my behalf when I came in. For example, one of the things is when I came in, it was a difficult birth for my mother. My mother was very tiny. I was very big. Difficult birth for my mother. So one of the realities is I never was born. I didn't make it. She had a major cesarean section back in the 1960s, and those of you that had cesarean and had to give birth back then, it looked like a big Frankenstein scar. They literally, it was horrible. They didn't know what they were doing back then. So I was born in 1963, but I'm giving you my reality here. So it was a very difficult birth. My mother was very small. So one of the realities is I didn't make it at all. I went right back to the other side. Another reality is I had like weak legs, really weak legs, and they said that I wasn't going to be able to walk. And I do walk, but one of the realities is that I never walk, so I'm in a wheelchair. And one of my realities is living out my life as it is now, as I am now, as Cheryl, as you are all seeing me in this physical body, because I'm going to tell you something that's going to be happening to some of you, and you're going to be remembering this. So every little thing that happens, I'm just saying at birth, there was like difficulties in my parents' marriage. So when, one reality, they stayed together, and this is my reality. The other reality, they separated, and there's another reality. And this all breaks off. Like I said, I had a vision of just spaghetti, just like a spaghetti lines. As I am now, my realities, all the decisions. It's not just one line, people. It's just not one line about, just this. Every little thing, because this all has to do with the higher self. And this part of me, there's all kinds of branches, all kinds of multi-billion lives going on, and all kinds of realities, all kinds of scenarios, whatever decisions, I made in life. So whatever decisions I made up to this point, this is my reality right now, for me personally. Now, that being said, There's also a reality. I'm going to just give myself as an example. What I talked about was making these decisions, right? We made these decisions, and there's that spaghetti thing, and there's right now all kinds of realities of me out there on the earth as me, as me. And so there could be a reality of me in Chicago as a waitress. I'm just putting that out there as a Chicago, living in Chicago as a waitress, looking like I look. And somebody's going to come to me and say, Cheryl, you were my waitress. It was you as you look now. There are versions of you as you look now, all parts of the world. And you're going to see as this veil thins, more and more people are going to say to you, hey, no, we were on a cruise and it was you. It was you. Well, yes, it is part of like your higher self. It's part of versions of yourself. But these versions are so as you are now. It's not just one singular version of you. I don't know if I'm losing people here, and but I want you to kind of like understand this. Just remember this: a lot of you are going to hear as this ascension's going on, as the veils are thinning, as we're having all these bleed throughs, like these lives are coming on top of each other. You're going to hear somebody say, "I know I saw you," and that is you. That's part of your higher self. That's another version of you. All right, and yes, there's other versions of you in these other realities too, these other branches. But I'm just saying the reality that for me, that I created where I am right now, there's other realities. And this stream, this line that I'm in. Because the higher self is always, which is the pure chip of God, is always downloading information. Because like I said, it's all energy. Now, I don't know if people can understand that, but the main thing is this: you have the power to change your reality. You're so powerful. And trust me, the darkness does not want you to know that. They'll do anything for you to create darkness. They want you dead, basically. They want you dead. They want you drinking yourself to death, taking drugs. They want you abusing yourself, hating yourself. That's what they want you to do. And for some realities, that's some realities. Well, why would you want to live that when you can create everything yourself? But you've got to trust it, believe it, trust and believe, trust and believe. Okay? And Brenda says that already happened to me years ago. So Brenda knows. She's already experienced it. And many of you, as we go on now with the ascension, as the veils are thinning, as times are changing, as the spiritual is coming in strong, as the light workers are coming in strong, you're going to experience that. So when someone says that to you, just say, okay, so now you know where one of the decisions that you made, and you ended up there. Now, I just gave my example. I'm not saying that's one of my realities. That's just coming to me. I'm a waitress in Chicago somewhere. I didn't marry my husband. I mean, there's all kinds of scenarios. I left home and I didn't marry my husband, and I went off on my own younger, and I hit Chicago, and there's trails along the way, and that's where I'm at. It's from the decisions I made. Because I didn't marry, I was single. I'm married. And this is like a scenario with that. So, I mean, I hope everybody can, hi Douglas, I hope everybody can kind of understand that. So what I want you to take away is this. You are a major creator. You create your own reality. You create your whole environment. You create everybody in your environment. You create every little molecule in your environment. God's here to help, but you're the creator. You will be hearing down the line throughout your lives, hey, wait a minute, I saw you. I saw you. No, it's you. And you can say, yep, okay. Well, and then part of your reality is you ended up there. Maybe you can think to yourself, why did I end up on that cruise? And you can ask people questions. Well, what was I wearing? Was I wearing nicer clothes? Was I working there? So I hope you all can understand that, and also do what I do about knowing that you create your own reality. If there's a familiar street that you know that every day that you go by, walk by and just glance quickly and see if it's not foggy, and just say, I don't want to create that, and see if it's not foggy or it's just off. Okay? So I hope everybody can understand that. Hello. Hi, Aaron. And then Aaron says, here's a good question. Aaron says, is this where doppelgangers come in? No, doppelgangers is something totally different, Aaron. Doppelgangers, actually, they're demons. They're demons. They usually come in. They see demons can come in human form. They can come in children's forms. They can form. They can transform themselves. So usually doppelgangers is when your energy is open, like when people are younger, fearful, the energies are open, and they come in and they project themselves. Okay, no, you want to. If anybody has a doppelganger, you definitely want to get close that up. That I put that in the same category as those you using Ouija boards, and I don't even use them. Closing up those portals. Make no mistake, those demons can you project, especially if you're an impressionable, sensitive person. If you punched holes, if you're a drug addict, if you're an abuser, you're punching holes like the Ouija boards. That's why you're listening to me right now, and you got to love yourself and get into the spiritual and get out of that. Okay? Because as the light comes in, make no mistake, evil comes in strong too. It's being exposed. It's just being exposed. Okay, so anybody that does have that, has a doppelganger, has somebody, please look for somebody to close that portal. Again, you can look online, just make sure you get a reputable person. But Aaron, that's a very good question. Okay, now, so I hope all of you can understand that. Now, before we get into page 41, we're going to get into God blockers, because I really want you all to be at your optimal level as you create during this time. All right. One thing I do want to talk about is when I learn something, I teach it. And I recently learned something, and the angels have brought this out. And I didn't realize I was doing it, but I was. And so I have to tell all of you what I've learned. And actually, it's a form of control that I didn't realize I was doing. See, one of the things I work on is control. Control not. Staying in the here and the now. I'm telling you, people, it's so much better when you control not. Just put the love on yourself. You let other people go, other situations go. And I know this. And I teach this. And but the other, let me just give you the example about how I was controlling. So right now, my son has mono, and he's going to be all right, but he's sick right now. My son Mike, and he's got mono, and he's really tired, and he's going through it. And I've never had mono, but I'm sure those of you out there that have mono know what he's going through. We thought originally he had COVID, but it wasn't that. It's mono, and it's nasty. He's got to sleep, and he's got the sore throat and the whole thing. So of course I put the prayers out, and I said to Archangel Raphael, because that's God's position. Archangel Raphael, send the green light unto my son. This is when we thought we had COVID. Send the green light unto him. And, I was praying to Archangel Raphael. Now, I have a very dear person in my life who hooks into my personal angels, gives me my messages. Because sometimes it's very difficult for me. God will give me my own personal messages, but sometimes it's difficult for me, especially if I'm praying for my sick son. I said to this person, I said, what messages do the angels have for me? And then she said, he's going to be all right. They've sent Gabriel. Gabriel's got it. And then I said, Gabriel's a messenger. Gabriel? No, Raphael. And she says, no, they sent Gabriel. Gabriel's got it. And then it was, the message I got loud and clear was, Cheryl, it's all energy. It does not matter. And I was pigeonholing. Whatever energies come up, they're the ones. So I thanked Gabriel. I said, thank you, Gabriel, for helping my son. But I was just like, well, Raphael. Why wasn't Raphael? No. All these energies mix in. They all work with each other. They all mix in. And isn't that a lot better? Hold on a second here. Is Raphael tell me? Excuse me, I'm sorry. All right. Now, anyway, don't pigeonhole the energies like I did. I learned. Okay? Now, I hope everybody understands that. All right, I'm going to blow my nose here for 1 second. All right. Okay. Now we're going to get into God blockers. All right. So we're going to go to page 41 in your books. Page 41. All right. And I want to read the opening paragraph of God blockers, and then we're going to just briefly go on. These are things that those of you that aren't getting your blessings, why isn't things working for me? Well, this is some of the things that you're doing that's blocking God. They can only do certain things. And again, this was added on last minute. God said, read God blockers. So this apparently some of you are having issues about, hi Douglas, some of you are having issues about getting your blessings through or seeing the tangible evidence of your blessings. Okay, so what I'm going to do is we're going to read on page 41, and I go into major detail in the book. We're just going to touch on this briefly. So, okay. God is always present with you. Not a single moment of your creation are you void of God. You are part of the vast universe and are able to access the unlimited power it provides. As God's child, you have every right to live your life's purpose in peace and happiness. It does not matter if you're on a different planet or earth. All are the same with God. Being human is difficult. You are bombarded by negativity constantly as fear and ego thrive on earth. No other spirit in the universe has negativity, only humans. We are the least advanced because of this. The following issues can delay your blessings, and it is up to you to resolve them. Once you remove these blockages in your life, it's a green light for God and the angels to move you forward. Okay? So the first thing, people, is ego. That's the biggie. Now, I have already done teachings on ego. It's in this book. You know, it's the lower energies. It's the lower negative. Raise your vibrations past the ego. Okay? It's fear and worry. You know, that's the food of ego. And I give you in the book that you raise your vibrations past it through Archangel Michael to cut away all the negativity and raise up your vibrations. So the first thing is ego. All right, that's the biggie. The second one is free will. Free will. So again, I've taught on free will, that free will is a gift from God. It allows you to live your life without interference of archangels, angels, spirit guides, guardian angels, ascended masters, saints, your higher self. Not even God does not come in unless you give them permission to override the free will. Some people choose to stay in the negative, to choose to live, but those of you watching me know. You really don't. Give them permission. God, I give you permission to override my free will for my highest and greatest good. Come in now, God, and make the miracles happen. Jesus, I give you permission. Archangels, I give you permission. Give them all permission to override the free will. And then it's God's will, God's timing. God takes care of everything. And in free will, there's no fear. Okay? So again, the top two things are ego and free will. And again, please look, I do the Spiritually Speaking with Cheryl Lynn. I've done that. So please look at that. If you haven't seen that, again, get the book. That's like the first part of this. Okay? So we have ego and we have free will. And then the thing is, the next one is not totally surrendering to God. And this ties into your free will. Once you totally surrender yourself to God, you must stay in the now and find your inner peace. And this is where true faith comes in. God's plan and timing is different than yours. And please know that if other people's free will is involved in your blessings, it will take time. Humans are fearful of the unseen. Fear is humanity's biggest problem. So you must overcome your fear in all forms in life and there's nothing to fear. You are creating your fear. So, and then I go into more. Okay, you must stay in the here and the now. You can't be like, yeah, I totally surrender, release everything to God. Then you're like, oh, what's going to happen now? Oh, and there goes your energies. Just stay up there with God. Okay, not totally surrendering to God. That's fear, fear-based thinking. The next thing is your negativity to yourself and others. And this has to do, so it says, it is true, there's a duality present in everyone's lives. You must experience darkness to know the light. The negative energy is there just like the positive. As humans, we do experience negative things. Fear and darkness is stressful and scary. Demons and lower energies are on the earth. This does not mean you give into negativity, just the opposite. You have the power to stay in the positive where your true spirit lives. And you must distance yourself from people and situations that can bring down your energy. If you choose to dwell in the negative and lower energies, you block God. You manifest only negative. It is very important for you to stop all negative things you are doing to yourself and others. Clear away all negative vices in your life, like smoking, drinking, and drugs. Drink plenty of water and change your diet to the healthiest you can for yourself. If you're in an abusive relationship of any kind, it is time to leave. You cannot change the person's free will. Love yourself as God loves you and walk away. Be very careful about the music and entertainment. Listen to me, people. Be very careful about the music and entertainment you listen to. If it's based in low energy negativity, time to find more positive ones to spend your time. And if you are the cause of hurting another person or animal, stop this immediately. Give everything to God. Life is a journey. Time to make that journey a positive one. So I read that whole section for all of you. All right. So yeah. So once you make this commitment to God, it's a commitment. You know, you don't go on hurting other people. You don't go on doing the destructive lifestyles because that just lowers your energy. And God will give you the strength to overcome these things. So you just stay in the here and the now, stay in the positive, all right, and you can overcome these things. Again, I go through this with the God blockers, but it was very strong in my spirit today. Somebody needed to hear this. Don't give up. Give it to God. And God's timing is different than ours. The way God does things is different than ours. But what we can do is work on ourselves. And that's another thing too about music and entertainment. If you're getting into the lower energies, please know something, people. Hollywood is a cesspool. It's a cesspool. And I'm not going to say too much now because this is in an open public, but let me just say this. More and more is going to come out as the negativity rises to the top. It is so dark. We in the light don't deal with it, but more and more that's going to come out. So be aware again of what you actually are watching, what you're actually listening to music-wise. If it's a lower energy, negative music, it's time for you to change your music. Something that uplifts you. Be very careful about that. And even like on YouTube too, like watching things on YouTube. Like for me personally, like when I first, I'll give you my example, I'm in the spirit, I know. But when I first started watching YouTube and everything, I was watching all kinds of gossip people and this gossip person and that gossip person and it just like it doesn't fulfill me. It just lowers my energy. Oh, and then what did they do? Oh, then and that's how you can lower your energy. So, I mean, I personally have stopped watching gossip people on here and negative people on here, and I choose to watch positive people. I choose to watch people on here that are actually that do what I do. I learn from them. There's some great astrologers on here. There's some great psychics on here, and there's some people that I listen to too, and I listen to some lectures, and I find that more fulfilling than lowering my energies. Just for me personally, I'm just giving my example. Like I stopped watching the Kardashians, I stopped watching Jersey Shore, I stopped watching all those television shows. I used to watch them all, you know, I used to watch them all, but I just stopped watching the Kardashians and all. It's all negative. It's all low energy. I stopped watching all that, and I watch other things. And I find that that's helps my spirit. That can lower your spirit as well. Okay. Again, all of you get the book if you haven't gotten it already. Page 41. I read some of it, but there's more details about that. Okay. So today, everybody, I want to thank everybody so much for coming today. It says, let me see, Mirabella says, hi Cheryl, would you be able to share who you follow and listen to? Okay, I can share some of it. First of all, there is a fantastic astrologer on here, fantastic Braca Goldman. Braca Goldman. It used to be Barbara Goldman, I think, and she changed her name to Braca, and she's fantastic. I watch her every month. I'm Taurus, and I watch her every month, and she's fantastic about breaking down astrology. I have a working knowledge of it, but I'm not a master astrologer. And I find very interesting her breaking down the energies for Taurus for me. I listen to her. Love Joseph Tittle. I love him. I listen to him. He's more of a shaman to me. Like when he does his drum circle things and just somebody just like part. I feel like when I watch him when he's doing his drum circle stuff and it's part of like the spiritual community. Like opening up chakras and opening up. So Joseph Tittle, I like him. Let's see here, and then I'm just like all of you too. I do my tours, like I want to hear what they have to say. So of course I do the Lucky Mermaid. I like the Lucky Mermaid. I think she's awesome. I do channeling Eric every once in a while. I listen to lectures, not so much anymore. I used to listen to channeling Eric all the time in the beginning because it was just like a block of information. It was so awesome, what Eric was doing there. Let me see who else. Fantastic is Ancient Universal Love. She does coffee cup readings. She does readings. Ancient Universal Love. She's fantastic. And then Cognitive Universe. She does like coffee cup. I find the coffee cup readings very insightful. And then I also do. I also listen to the amazing Leslie. She's an older woman, and she has such positive messages. And basically, what she says works out for me. So I listen to her as well. So that's basically the people that I do listen to. I have like my set people that I listen to because I learn as well as all of you. But it's very hard for me, in being in the spiritual where I'm at, the spiritual community that's not church related, to find people that are of the spirit, and so I really cherish the people that God sends unto me, and I get my messages through them, and I get my messages through my own channeling. So I hope that helps. Thank you, Connie, very much. Okay. Thank you, Chaos, all of you. I hope that, who asked that? Somebody, okay, Mira. So I hope that answers your question there. Okay, well, all of you, thank you so very much. Today was a very complicated. I want you to re-listen to this. What I've been saying, start practicing, learning. So eventually you'll see that fog. You'll see, okay, I'm not really creating that right now. You're going to realize what a great creator you are. Do not be surprised in the future if you hear people say, no, wait a minute, I saw you. You can say, yep, that's me. What am I doing? You can kind of like, get some inside information about that. And again, get the book, page 41. We did the God blockers. I just like the major things that I talked about that it really kind of like blocks God. Once you overcome those things, it's just like clear sailing. Okay? All right. Thank you all so very much. God bless all of you so very much. And I'll see you all next time. Thank you all. God bless you.